Oregon Ballet Theater's newest production, Princess and the Pea, starts this Friday at the Newmark Theater. It's a playful and rebellious twist on the story, and here to tell us all about it is artistic director Danny Rowe. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so how did the idea of Princess and the Pea as a ballet start to form initially, and why this fairy tale in particular?
Well, as a choreographer, I'm often asked to create new ballets that utilize pre-existing stories so that people can more readily connect with them. And so, along with my creative partner, Garen Scribner, and this was during the pandemic actually, we sat down and we thought, what are some stories that we could look at? And of course, we went through all the typical fairy tales and realized that Princess and the Pea had not really been reimagined as a ballet. And so we began tackling that, and the story just kind of blossomed from there. And at the time, my daughters were 1 and 4. It was a crazy, crazy time for everybody. And so we kind of laughed our way through this crafting of a new narrative. And I really wanted it to resonate with my daughters, but also really connect to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that this ballet story is different than the original, Hans Christian Andersen version.
Yeah.
So you've got some larger than life characters. How did you build the movement styles once you got those characters down?
I kind of put together avatars for each character, drawing from movie characters to people that I know. I mean, for example, the title role of P, Penelope, is very much inspired by my 2 daughters, kind of a combination of the two.
Love that.
So took elements of book characters and yeah, like I said, movie characters and created avatars for each, and then the movement style blossomed from there.
Very cool. And this ballet also involves narration, which isn't typical. So why did you make that choice, and how did you work with the dancers to kind of embrace that and then embody the narrator character?
Yeah, I mean, ballet dancers are often drawn to ballet for precisely the reason to not speak at all. But I thought it was important, considering this is very different from the original fairy tale, to begin the ballet with some narration so that our audience members wouldn't feel alienated and could kind of lean into the wackiness of the story. For the dancers that are tackling the narrator role, we approached it in just the same way as learning new choreography. So each word is a step, and it's all coordinated with music as well. So it became more rhythmically driven, and then they became more comfortable with the task.
Okay, sounds fun. It sounds really fun. And I understand you choreographed Princess and the Pea right before last spring's Marilyn, which are very different stories.
Yeah.
In terms of the tone, choreography, everything. So was it difficult to do it that way? How did you keep them separate in your mind?
I didn't really keep them separate. I wish I was that good at compartmentalizing, but I think it was important for me, I mean, even for my mental well-being, to kind of house both in my mind, the dark and the light. And I think kind of tapping into both of those elements simultaneously added more depth to both of those ballets. It was a challenge, but I'm grateful for them.
And this is a co-production with the Joffrey Ballet, which is based in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what that means to have a co-production. Does it have an effect on your choreographic process or anything?
Co-productions are really the way forward as far as creating brand new ballets, from new music composition to new designs to new choreography. The whole kit and caboodle. We really don't have the resources alone to commit to large-scale productions. Yeah. And so we really need to join forces to make that happen. So working with the Joffrey Ballet, which is one of the most brilliant ballet companies in America, was such a treat. And so we were able to realize this ballet in a way that it was what it was meant to be, as opposed to what we hoped it would be. And as far as choreographing it, I worked with our second company dancers first, and we workshopped and played around with ideas. And then I went to the Joffrey and worked with those dancers and fleshed it out and created the ballet there. It premiered this time last year.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then I've brought it back to OBT on our dancers, and so now it has added depth. I've been able to tweak little things and make sure the story really resonates.
Yeah, well, this one looks really fun. Princess and the Pea starts Friday, April 3rd at the Newmark Theater. For showtimes and tickets, head to the official ticketing site of Oregon Ballet Theater, obt.org. All that information is right there on your screen. Thank you for coming and sharing with us today. It was great.
Thank you.